JavaScript math.random method. The math.random method returns a number from 0, inclusive, up to, but not including 1, which means that the math.random method can return numbers between 0 and 1. But 1 itself is not going to be part of the number. So it can return numbers up to something like 0.9999. But then 1, it's not going to be inclusive. Now, when you multiply a number by tens, so it gives a number from 0 up to, but not including 10. So if you multiply a number by 10, so the output that you get is going to be a number from 0 up to, but not including 10. So it can be up to 99999. But 10 as a number itself, which happens to be the data that you are multiplying with, is not going to be part of the numbers. Now, adding 1 shift that range to 1 up to, but not including 11. So if you actually want 10 to show as part of the numbers, so you actually need to add +1 to it, and then that will help shift the range up, but it's not going to include 11, which means that if you look at it now, if you add 10 plus 1 together, that's 11. Instead of 11 to be part of your random numbers generated, no, it is not going to be part. It's just going to be a number that includes 10 if you want it. So this is what that is saying. Now, look at this now. 10, and then if you add 1. So now, this range will shift from 9 to 10. So this way, it will add 10. It will generate 10. Look at it. Generate a random number between 1 and 10, which means that 1 is going to be inclusive and 10 itself is going to be inclusive. How do I know? Let me show you how. You can see 10 just now and you can see 1. So this is how it will. So if you want 11 to be inclusive, that means you have to change this to 2. If you change this to 2 and refresh, let's take a look until we get 11. So don't mind the way this number have been generated. A random method can generate the same number in succession simultaneously. You can see 10 is generated twice, 10 is generated twice again, 2, 5, 5, 8, 8, 10, 2, 11. Yeah, it just generated 11 by shifting this to 2. So if you want maybe 12 to be part of your number, so you just need to increase that range. So by adding those numbers at the end, it will increase the range. So let's see if 12 is going to be part of, you can see 12 as part of our output. So this is how you increase range and change the output of your master's random method. Don't forget that to generate an integer, you need the math.random method wrapped with a math.floor method. Now, math.floor method then wraps down. So you get an integer between 1 and 2. So when you want to get an integer like a whole number, use the math.floor to round down the output from a math.random method, just as you saw now in the examples. So if I want a random integer to be returned between from 1 to 100, I want 1 to be included and I want 100 to be included, I will just use what I already have here. So if I want 1 to be part, and I also want 100 to be included, you can see. So just like the normal way that we have we've seen, rather, sorry. So that is the same way we are going to be getting this. You can see 90. And I will stop when we get 100. Because we've seen 1, so 58, 67, 49, 64, 19, 51. So I want to show us that 100 will be inclusive as part of this number. So you can see, as I keep refreshing, it keeps generating those numbers randomly for me. So we have not hit 100. 99, 90, 26, 61, 99 again, 95, 73, 50, 71, 80. It can take a while, as you can see yourself, that despite all the refreshing, it's actually, showing different random number, and yet we have not hit 100. So I want us to hit 100. You can see. So this now returns a random integer from 1 to 100. So we've seen 1 and now we just saw 100 as part of our return output from the math.random method. So let's move on and let me just talk about a summary of these expressions that we've been working with. So you see the math.random method directly, when you call on that function, that math.random method without any parameter or data being passed into it. So it always returns number from a range of 0 to something less than 1. So it can be 0.9999, but 1 is not going to be exclusive. So when you multiply it by 10, so it will return a random number from a range of 0 to something less than 10. So 0 is going to be inclusive, but 10 is going to be exclusive, which means 10 is not going to be part. So it can generate no, but that n exactly is not going to be part. So the same thing for when you multiply the random method by 100. So 0 is going to be inclusive, while 100 is going to be exclusive. So if you want each of these number to carry the range from and the range to, that means you will add the +1 or whatever number you want to add in order to be able to shift that range to make both sides inclusive in the output of your math.random method. And the last one, so if you do this math.random, so this is going to contain values between 0 and 9. 10 itself is still not going to be inclusive. In order to make 10 inclusive, you have to add that +1 that we just saw in the previous example. So this is a summary for how the math.random function works.